Vampire monsters have been around since the very beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! However, despite multiple support, the archetype was still garbage. It was extremely difficult to build a vampire deck as the cards were so disconnected from each other. But with the release of Battle of Chaos, the vampire deck went from Twilight vampires to straight up gangster blitz. If you are interested in building this deck, here are your starters. 3 copies of Vampire Ghost. Ghost is just the card vampires needed. Ghost is amazing. Vampire Ghost upon normal summon allow you to add 1 level 4 or higher vampire from your deck to your hand. And if you do, send 1 level 2 or lower to the graveyard. In essence, with this 1 card, you are facilitating an entire vampire play or combo. The ability to search a vampire monster and dump one into the graveyard is insanely good. It's like Konami just read this effect from a vampire blog wishlist.
But wait! There's more! Hang on to your seat, baby! Cause this one's a screamer!
You can banish 1 vampire ghost from the graveyard and pay 500 life points and immediately normal summon 1 vampire monster. So now the deck can perform 3 normal summons. Bear in mind, this second effect is a quick effect. So you can use it during your opponent's turn, and if Vampire Sucker is on the field while Zombie World is active, you can tribute your opponent's monsters. This in itself is a big interruption to the opponent. Next, I play 3 copies of Familiar and 2 copies of Vampire Retainer. My reason for playing 2 Retainers is simple. Unlike Familiar, it can't do anything on its own. So I'd rather search or dump it from the deck to the graveyard. Here are the extenders. 1 copy of Vampire Scarlet Surge, Shadow Vampire, and Vampire Grace. I thought it was best to play each of these cards at 1 because the deck easily allows you to search or send them to the graveyard. Seeing them in your opening hand is a crime in itself. So just imagine playing multiple copies of each. The hero card, Vampire Voivode or Dracula. Voivode can finally show its true capabilities. If you have been sleeping on this card, it's time to wake up. Dracula is a 2800 beater with 3 effects you cannot overlook. This is by far my favorite vampire monster in the deck. The deck's ability to OTK is all thanks to this card. The normal summon effect is what caught my heart, and in conjunction with Vampire Sucker and Zombie World, you got yourself an easy board break. Special summoning 2 of your opponent's monster from the graveyard to your field is just free real estate. With the summoning condition of the vampire's deck exceed monsters, you can easily access either of them with the special summon monsters. This card's second effect makes it a walking call by the grave. I dare you to hit me with your hand trap. The third effect sees play but happens from time to time. For the supporting cards, I play 1 Doom King, 1 Jackabolin, and 1 copy of Vampire Frowling, 2 Banshees. By now you should see the importance of Zombie World in the deck. 2 Uni-Zombies, because you cannot have too many starters. 1 Globe Bulb, which searches all your big boys. 1 Mizuki, because every card in the deck is a zombie. 1 for 1 and 1 Foolish Burial, which are staples in mostly any zombie deck. The core strategy of this build is breaking boards or OTKing. In my opinion, Blind Second is the stronger build in this format. With the additional card while going second, the ability to play through multiple interruptions, and now OTK potential, it just feels better breaking boards as opposed to mounting a control vampire field. The deck does have the interesting first turn setup plays, which means the deck can be seen as an all-rounder variant. With that being said, I play Mind Control. Works perfectly with the deck strategy. 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More because the format is oppressive. We won't be able to OTK, but we can clear the board. 3 copies of Forbidden Chalice. In most situations, it's better than Imprum. And 3 Super Polish because why not? The final few cards. 3 copies of Zombie World, 1 copy of Vampire Desire, 2 copies of the Domain, and 1 copy of Domination. Here are some spicy tech I have in the extra deck. Number 29, Mannequin Cat. If you haven't seen the video about this card, please check it out. I will also leave a link in the end screen. The second spicy tech is Dark, the Dark Charmer. This card works perfectly with the vampire strategy. Its second effect is just icing on the cake. When destroyed, you can search any of your starters. These are the super folly targets: Dragon Necro, Starving Venom, and Mud Dragon. When it comes to the vampire extra deck monsters, I play 1 copy of Zombie Vampire, 2 copies of Vampire Fascinator, 2 copies of Sheridan, and 2 copies of Vampire Sucker. The Zombie Vampire and Vampire Fascinator is the backup Sheridan and Sucker needed. These 2 new support really curb the new playstyle of the deck. The ability to mill and special summon with Zombie Vampire is amazing, and Fascinator's revival and snatch effect leads to so many board breaks and OTK. I close off the extra deck with 1 Nightmare Phoenix and 1 Link Karibo. Check out these 2 videos for more vampire spiciness, and here's the link in the description for the card by card list, downloadable deck list, and image of the deck.